So I'm going to give you two 15 to 30 minute routines that you can do right from your desk with that minimal equipment. I mean, basically no equipment at all. So you have no excuses. These are really going to fully address your tightness and pain. So let's get to it. So for part two, the top down approach, you're going to focus on the upper back. And basically you put your elbows here in the corner. You can kind of lean back here and we're pushing this out, right? Pulling the walls apart. Really activating the upper back muscles, the muscles between the shoulders. It's really helping to improve the posterior, which these are the muscles that you actually use to posture up. So getting these muscles stronger make it easier to posture up, right? So here, you can bring your feet forward more and more. Pull apart. The further out your feet are, the harder this gets. Getting to 20 reps is a great goal. And if you tire out at a certain distance, you can bring your feet in a little bit and keep working here, right? It's actually easier than you would think to go to failure doing this. And it works great. It's a great alternative for banded pull aparts, which I actually really like more, where you keep your arms locked out and pull the band apart with your shoulders, right? So nice little posture pump with that one. Next, we're gonna do the wall pullover. The wall pullover is a great exercise to get stronger in the lats, as well as to open up the shoulders, chest, triceps. You're gonna put your hands on the wall, bring your feet back, and then you can bend your knees here. Try to get your chest down as far as you can, opening all that up, and actively try to pull the wall down, right? So we're doing repetitions here. I like 15 to 20 to really open this up. And if you bring your feet back, you're gonna get more load in that position. Makes it a good bit harder as well. So again, actively trying to pull the wall down each repetition. Trying to get strong here as well. Stronger in these lengthened ranges of motion gives you more and more access as well. So 15 repetitions here is great. I love to do this for traveling, but you could technically do this from your desk, right? Or from a chair. And this is more of a passive version of this stretch, but it's called a butcher's block. Bring in the elbows here. Hands in prayer pose. And you're trying to get your head down below the chair. And if that's too uncomfortable, you can just use your hands. So here you're trying to stretch, holding this position for about 30 seconds. And if you wanted to, you could also actively do these reps. Next is the trap 3. Now working on the lower trap muscles. These muscles right here in the middle of the back, right? Not as sexy as the upper trap muscles, so most people actually forget them, but they also help you to posture up and stabilize the shoulders overhead. Most people are really weak in this position because when you're sitting down, you're constantly kind of slump forward, so you don't really use them, right, unless you have to posture up. But if you want to get them stronger, trap 3 is a great alternative. There's a few options for this one, but the first one I'm going to show you here is with a wall. So almost like getting into a wide wall squat. Keep the back straight and engaged here. Pull the shoulders back and down. Bring the hands up, and then hold for 2 to 3 seconds and control them down. So you could easily add weight to this, right? Even if you start holding with some pencils, you might be surprised at how much of a pump you can get getting 15 to 20 reps here. It's all about the intention. When you're using these bodyweight exercises, you can make any weight feel heavy. So, really trying to squeeze at the top position, getting stronger in this, accessing this range of motion, right? So you can do those on the wall. A bit of a harder version here is doing these on the floor. It's called a Superman. And this actually helps to improve your ability to extend your back, so it works the spinal erectors as well. So hands out like a Y. You can bring your feet up and the hands up at the same time, holding at the top, control and down. Trying to make a boat with your belly. The only part that should be touching is the belly. Feet and thighs are coming up, hands up, hold at the top. Control down. All right, so next is working your quadratus lumborum. This is the muscle on the side of your back that controls lateral flexion extension. So getting strong here is really useful for protecting the lower back. Might be the missing key to getting rid of your lower back pain, as most people neglect in training this muscle. So a really easy way to do it that also brings you mobility in the inner thigh is going into a wall, bring your butt to the wall, and then you can put your feet wide apart. You're gonna bring one hand over, try to stretch to the side, keeping your back on the wall, and then coming back up, right? Both ways. And you can actually make this even harder by holding both hands up top And even harder if you want to hold some weights on the hands above, right? So one side at a time. You can alternate or work one side at a time. So multiple repetitions on this side. So that's one way to do it. You can also do the standing, just feet shoulder width apart, reaching down to one side, other hand here on the head, look up at your elbow and stretch. So big stretch here on the quadratus lumborum, strengthening the sides of the lower back, as well as stretching those intercostal muscles, the muscles between your ribs. And you can technically do this with a suitcase or just add weight and strengthen that here as well, right? So you can even start with your laptop. So in the previous workout that I gave you for this, we lengthened the hip flexors with that HEG split squat. Now we're going to strengthen these by using an L-sit. You can technically, ironically again, do this right from a chair, right? So hands on the chair, pick your body up and hold at the top, right? Level 1 regression on this is just holding the legs up off the ground. You don't even have to pick your body up. Take a little bit more strength to then pick your body up, squeezing here, holding the legs up bent. And then the final progression is being able to do this with the legs straight. Each level of this you can work for holding this for 20 seconds. So we're strengthening those hip flexors and the lower abs. These are the muscles that pick up your legs, right? And the lower abs are often neglected, so getting those stronger is a big advantage for also protecting the lower back. You want to think of these, because they're connected to your lower back, you want to think of these as the front of your lower back. So next would be being able to do a seated good morning, right? Improving your back's ability to resist rounding, also working those spinal erectors. And you could even do this into a rounded position, come back up into an extended position and come all the way up, right? So this is a seated good morning into a back extension, all from the comfort of your own chair. Working here, resisting rounding until that very point where you can't resist anymore. Round all the way down, gently come up, squeezing the glutes, squeezing the lower back straight, come back up. So really like this one for getting some movement into the lower back in a gentle way. Whereas people might be scared of a back extension because it looks a little bit too extreme, right? So there's a great regression for that. Straight back, coming down, coming back up. And you can practice bracing here by taking a deep breath at the top, holding it until you're on the way back up, right? So act like there's water right here. Deep breath. Holding that brace is really going to help you to keep your back straighter because it's giving you more tension in the abdominal, in the core, really, in this entire region, right? You're also working on diaphragmatic breathing. That can be a whole nother video. But the reason for this is you want to think of your body as like a soda can, right? If it's this whole diaphragm area as a soda can. If it's empty, it's really easy to crush. If it's nice and full, it's a lot harder. So, right, if you have a ton of weight on your back, this is a lot sturdier than this as far as like maintaining that extension. And the great thing about this one is you can then scale. You can then scale this as well by holding the weight here, right? So let's say this is your desk suitcase or something like that. Same thing here, resisting rounding until you can no longer resist, going into flexion, coming back up into extension, and then coming back up. And then last but not least, we're gonna do the couch stretch, which again, the obstacle is the way. You can also do from a chair, right? The couch stretch, you start on your knees, bring one leg up here, and then bring the other leg up to here, almost like a lunge position. You can then slowly start to stand up. The goal is to get your butt to your heel, then shoulders to where those are. And this stretch can be uncomfortable for a lot of people, so I would recommend actually using a lot of padding for this one. So you could do it from your couch at home, or you can use a knee mats like this, where it has a lot of padding to make it a little bit more comfortable. Right, so again, on your knees, bring the knee back, other leg up, and then slowly posture up to where there's a stretch here. Think about squeezing your quad, squeezing your glute, and again, the goal is trying to get your back to the point where your shin and your knee are. So this routine is a more accessible version to what I did to get out of pain, right? I worked at a desk for 4 years. I know pretty much what the habits are like. I know exactly where I was, and I don't want you to be there, right? I had a lot of back pain. Every time I would play sports, I would end up hurting my lower back or just not being able to walk the same for months. Eventually, these things stop happening as often, right, with the training. Whenever it did happen again, like I would be injured for way less time, right? Maybe like 2 to 3 days as opposed to like 3 to 4 weeks. And now I've gone maybe like 2 or 3 years without an injury. So it's not necessarily, bulletproof isn't necessarily the term that you want to use for this because, I mean, nobody's bulletproof, but it greatly increases your injury resilience because you're getting stronger, you're getting more flexible, so you're able to access more ranges of motion without pain. You're able to handle more stress in your lower back and the supporting muscles. So I definitely recommend doing this at least 2 to 3 times a week, both of these workouts. The ground up approach 3 times a week, the other one 1 to 2. If you want more guidance on this, I offer coaching. I work one-on-one with my clients in a very close manner. I have a few different offers on my work for you as well, but I've also made a free resource with this information, how many sets, how many reps you need to be doing in a PDF that tells you how to scale every single one of these in the gym, right? It's a low cost offer. I want to share that with you guys and just help you. So if there's anything else I can do to be of service to you, please drop it in the comments, send me a message.